Starting on August 13, 1961, the German Democratic Republic started constructing the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall was a barrier that divided Berlin from 1961 to 1989. It was a barrier that divided capitalist West and communist East Germany after the Second World War. The tensions between the two superpowers had people anticipating actions from East Germany, especially since the number of people fleeing to the West was becoming alarming. In the early morning of August 13th, 1961, people living along the border woke up to the East German police sealing sectors off with rolls of barbed wire that was soon going to be replaced by a masonry wall.
The Eastern Bloc claimed that the wall was built to protect the will of the people in building a socialist state in East Germany from fascist elements. The wall was officially known and referred to as the Anti-Fascist Protective Wall.
The wall was one example of a clear divide between the two sides of the Cold War, the East Soviet and the West U.S. In Vienna, 2 months after the construction of the wall began, there had been a confrontation between John F. Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev over Berlin, and the president was expecting trouble.
Khrushchev, I've been pushing for permission to set the border in the Berlin.
Settling the border means we admit our defeat. We find another way to stop people from fleeing to West Germany.
Pushing for this for 8 years. Khrushchev, you have to.
Fine. I'll order the construction due to your pressing wishes.
The wall completely cut off the western Berlin from surrounding East Germany. The barrier included guard towers placed along large concrete walls. Many people tried to pass the wall, but security was harsh and taken very seriously. 138 people were killed along the wall during the 28 years it stood.
All I wanted was to get away from the harsh grip of communism. I never knew that we'd be separated.
I only heard about the Berlin Wall a day ago. I knew it should have came sooner.
The Berlin Wall made a huge impact on the world during the era known as the Cold War. The wall was built out of fear and resentment. In December of 1989, after the wall was torn down, many families were reunited. After this day forward, the Eastern and Western Bloc were reunited.
According to Richard Millington on History Today, with the state nearing bankruptcy and living conditions steadily worsening, the SED's refusal to change course angered many. The Eastern government's refusal to change situations made the people become angry. Ever since the wall was built, living standards became better in the East. Mixed feelings about the wall were typically of Easterners. They enjoyed better living standards, but felt like they lost a part of their identity because of the wall separating from the West.
What is it like living in East Berlin?
It's very worrying living here. The states are nearing bankruptcy. You can see the living conditions are getting worse.
And how do you feel about the SDE not changing course at all?
It's very frustrating. You can see how people feel angry whenever we talk about it.
I understand the fear of war and the pain of division that afflict this continent, and I pledge to you my country's efforts to help overcome these burdens. To be sure, we in the West must resist Soviet expansion.
According to Brian Brown and the Berlin Wall fall, the fall of the Berlin Wall was an important symbol of huge political change. The fall of the Berlin Wall represented the end of the Cold War and the start of the end of communism in East Germany.
It's about time you took down this wall.
I know we've been putting on demonstrations for weeks now. Me and my sister finally want to get reunited. Just think about the families that are here.
The Berlin Wall made a huge impact on the world during the era known as the Cold War. The wall was built out of fear and resentment. In December of 1989, after the wall was torn down, many families were reunited. After this day forward, the Eastern and Western Bloc were reunited.